Hi, welcome to Abdur Instructor, and I hope you are well. In this video, I'd like to talk to you about ADI Part 3 under Risk Management. We have, was the trainer aware of the surroundings and the people's action? This is what we are going to talk about in this video. Let's start the lesson. Okay, so under risk management on your ADI part 3, one of the things you will be tested on is, was the trainer, meaning yourself, you're the trainer, was the trainer aware of the surroundings and the people's action, meaning was the action of the people according to the surroundings? What is happening ahead, what is happening around, was the action of the people correct? Did they take the right action to deal with the things happening around them? This is what you as a trainer on your part 3 you will be tested on. So let's talk about that. Okay, so for example, you are on your ADA part 3 test and the examiner is testing you at the back, and you said to your learner, take the next road on the right. Now it is your job is to make sure you look at the surroundings where the road is, and then also look at your people, what they're doing, the action they're taking. So for them to go right, next road on the right, what do they need to do? So you know the road is coming up, you know where the road is now. Did they look at the mirrors? Did they put the signal on? Was the speed okay? What about the position? Did they take the right position? Are they, the road is big enough, did they go left of center, or do they stay in the middle and blocking the road? Cars going past, they can't go anymore because they're in the middle. If the road is big enough, where should they position? Left of center, right? So the car behind could carry on going, but they didn't. Did you recognize that? Did they take the right action? They didn't. If they don't go left of center, that's not the action. That's not the right action, is it? If not, you have to intervene and you have to tell them what is the problem, where should they position, and if they don't and stay in the middle, what is the risk behind that? If there's a car coming, who's got the priority? Do they understand? Did they wait for them, or did they go front of the other car? Was the gap big enough for them to go? If they did go, did they cut the corner? Did they go to their side of the road? You see, you need to look at the surroundings and also the action your people taking. Did they take the right action? Maybe on the roundabout coming up, you said third exit, fourth exit on the right. Which lane do they need? When do they signal? So you know the roundabout coming up, and you also need to look at the people. Are they doing the right thing at the right time? Are they taking the right action at the right time? So did they look at the mirrors? What about the position? Which lane do they need? Did they look on their right early enough? If there's a car coming, is the gap big enough? Did they take the right gap? Are they going in front of someone? If there's nobody there or the gap is big enough, are they taking the gap or are they not? Are they just stopping? That's undue hesitation, right? If they don't take the right gap or they wait when they could have gone, what is that? Is that a problem? That's a risk, right? What is the risk behind that? If they stop anyway and there's nobody coming, they're just holding the traffic behind for no reason. That needs to be explained if they don't do that, right? So the surrounding is there somebody coming? If there is, what are they doing? If the gap is big enough, are they going? What action are they taking? They go to the right lane, perfect. Did the signal stayed on? If the signal goes off, did they put it back on again? Before they come off, to come off, which lane do they need? They need to look at the mirror, change lane. Before changing lane to the left lane, did they look at the blind spot? Did they check the blind spot? Or are you too busy just looking where the lane is, and before they change, you forget to look at the people to see if they check the blind spot? Many, they miss that. The trainer too busy on part 3, they're too busy looking at where the roundabout, where the exit is for the people to come out. What they don't know is that for them to come out, they need to look at the mirror, they need to check the blind spot before they change lane to come off. But you as a trainer, you are too busy looking where the road is, where the exit is, and the people, did they look at the mirror? Did they look at the blind spot? You didn't check, you didn't know, you missed that. And that will be a problem for you because that's what you are tested on. Maybe you said pull up somewhere safe on the left. They did. Before they move off again, you said move off when it's safe to do so. Did they look at the mirror? Many, they miss the blind spot before moving off. You're just looking ahead and checking if there's a car coming. You know there's a car coming, but before they go, they didn't check the blind spot, which you miss. If you miss that, you can't talk about that. You can't explain to them what is the risk behind that, because you haven't even seen it. You don't even know if the people check the blind spot or not. Because if you don't know, you don't know what to talk about. You as a trainer on your part 3, and also when you pass and become a driving instructor, what is your role? Your role would be to make sure your people check the blind spot before moving off. If you can't demonstrate that on your ADI part 3, are you going to do that after you become a driving instructor? You have to demonstrate that to the examiner, that you know that you can check the surroundings as well as the people, are they checking or not. What about there's a traffic light coming up? Maybe your people approaching a traffic light and it's green. If it's a green traffic light, how should you approach? Are they approaching it the right way? Is the speed too high? Is it too low? If it's too high, what is the risk? What could happen if it changes all of a sudden and they do an emergency stop? What could happen to the car behind? So is this speed okay? Is it too high? So approach speed on the traffic light is one of the most important, because if the speed is too high on green and it changes last minute, what would happen? Can you see the danger behind that? So it is your responsibility to recognize the surrounding, meaning the traffic light coming up, and then what is the action your people taking? Did they take the right action? Was the speed okay? Did they check the mirror in case somebody there? And then if they need to stop, was the speed okay if they needed to stop? Because green doesn't mean you should beat the traffic light. You should approach in a way so that if it does change last minute, you have the speed to stop the car nice and smoothly without giving any problem to the car behind. Many, they just speed up to beat the traffic light because they think it's green, I have to go. And they speed up. And if it changes, what could happen? So you as a trainer, you as a driving instructor, it is your responsibility to know the surrounding, meaning the traffic light, and then see what the action your people is taking. Don't just look over there. Make sure you're looking at the surroundings and the people, what are they doing? Because this is you sitting on your instructor seat. This is your people sitting and driving. Your job is to look ahead and see what's happening around and look at the people, what they're doing. One other thing is that is the timing, how you time to look. So for example, you said next road on the right. Okay, so when you say next on the right and the junction is maybe quite far, it's no point for your people to look early and they don't look on time. So meaning maybe as soon as you've said it, they looked at the mirror, that's fine. Okay, but then when they're close enough, meaning just before signaling, they should look at the mirrors, then put the signal on, but they didn't. Even though they looked at the mirrors earlier, but when they go closer, just before signaling, they didn't look at the mirror. And that's why you should be reminding that's the action they took and that's the wrong action. Did you recognize that? So soon as you say next on the right, you look ahead. When they go closer, you know when they should signal the distance from the junction. That's when you should looking at the mirror people and see if they're looking at the mirror or not. Because that's when they should be looking at the mirror. So they look at the mirror. Did they put the signal on? What about the position? What about the speed? Did they slow the car? If it's a manual car, what's the speed and when they should change gear? What about the clutch? Are they covering the clutch? Just before they make the turn, are they leaving the clutch down? If they leave it down, that's coasting, right? There's no point changing gear if they don't bring the clutch up. What's the point? If they leave the clutch down, the gear isn't working anyway. So did they bring the clutch up before they make the turn? When they made the turn, did they cut the corner? Because if they cut the corner, what is the risk behind that? What is the problem behind that? Did they go to their side of the road, which is left? So soon as you give them an instruction for them to do, maybe going left or going right or roundabout, or there's no instruction, they're just driving and there's a roundabout coming up, there's a traffic light coming up, are they taking the right action at the right time? So on your ADI part 3, under risk management, was the trainer aware of the surroundings and the people's action? I hope you understand. I hope it gives you some understanding. Many, not that they don't understand what it means. They do know what it means. They do know exactly what they need to do. but they miss because they need to do two things. They need to look ahead as well as the people's action, and they miss one of them. And this is what I wanted to just remind you, so that when you go to the test, you are aware of this, you are ready for this, and I hope you don't have any problem on this subject on your test. I hope this video helps, and if your test is coming up, I wish you all the best for your ADI Part 3. If you like the video, please do give a thumbs up. Please do make a comment what you think of the video, and if you are new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe so don't miss any of my future videos. Hope to see you again on the next video. Bye for now.